And I'm giving thanks to all of my ancestors and all of my descendants, be they Pleiadian, Mayan, or otherwise, who are involved with this bringing of the light. I am here to do your work, and I thank you for your continued energetic support. Greetings, dear souls. I am Crispy, a Gaian, Mayan, Pleiadian emissary of light. Een Lak'esh, Alakin. I am another you, you are another me. We are one Godshiousness. Welcome to episode 9 of Pleiadian Wisdom, where we will be talking specifically about chapter 10, A New Paradigm of Light, and chapter 11, The Name of the Game. And we will also be dipping our toes and maybe our ankles and even up to our bums into the cool waters of the Pleiadian agenda by the other Pleiadian Barbara Hand-Clow. And we're actually going to take a little review of Christine Day as well. One special part. So let's begin with the opening of chapter 10, A New Paradigm of Light. Ooh, sounds exciting. Who are the bringers of the dawn, and what is their role? The bringers of the dawn are those who carry the rays of the sun and bring light and knowledge. They have an ancient organization, an ancient society, an ancient spiritual bonding that keeps them doing certain work within certain star systems. You are the members of the bringers of the dawn. Otherwise, you would not be drawn to this book. Makes sense. The members of this elite organization come to Earth at different times to do their work. This occurs when a cycle has been set and events are perfect for them to allow the energy from the high cosmos and the energy from the Earth to merge within their own beings. And that happens in your heart chakra. 7 main chakras, 3 coming up from the earth. Your heart is the center, 3 coming down from the heavens. All right. Oh, by the way, today is Een 170, and this is called Hun Ok in the classic Mayan pronunciation from the Yucatan. And it is brought to you today by these wonderful exemplars, some of whose bark was worse than their bite, and some the other way around, perhaps. And one of them has no bark and no bite. Can you guess who I mean? All right, now, where were we? The energies from the cosmos are always coming to the earth, and the energies from the earth are always lifting up towards the cosmos. Humanity creates the sacred bridge between earth and sky, which some have called the Rainbow Bridge. Ooh. Oh my goodness, I just had a revelation. The rainbow. You have a rainbow inside you. That is your bridge from the heavens to the earth. Ooh. As bringers of the dawn, there is a certain stance that will facilitate the commitment you have made. This stance is one of allowing and moving out of self-indulgence, service to self, and the discounting of your experiences. So here I'm feeling like we would discount synchronicities, for example, or déjà vus, or those dreams that reveal certain things. And the shadow ego just says, oh no, it's silly, it's nothing, it was just a coinky-dink, not important. Much like that plane flying behind me. You, the bringers of the dawn, also known as the family of light, agreed to go through the process of advanced evolution. By intention and conscious agreement, we came down to push the advancement of evolution. We are the thin edge of the wedge of the evolution of Godshiousness. You bring light back to the planet, bring about a new evolution of humanity, and make the cosmic evolutionary leap in awareness and intelligence possible by anchoring the frequency first inside your own bodies and living it. The family of light comes from a central place of operation, a source within this universe that acts as a broadcast station. Some call it the Hunab-Ku, the one and only giver of movement and measure, the great central sun and black hole at the epicenter of the omniverse, the maker and modeler of all things physical and non-physical, heart of earth, heart of sky, heart of humanity, Hunab-Ku. Oh, every time I say that, it just makes me feel so excited. That energy, oh, it's even on this arm too. Ooh. You sometimes incarnate into these systems for hundreds of thousands of years in preparation for the time when you may be called on to bust the system. You are very unique in this regard, and you know it. You love rabble-rousing, and you love to bust systems open, like reptilian ones that are fake, like money. When someone says, no trespassing, that's a rule for everyone else, but not you, isn't it? Members of the Bringers of Dawn or the Family of Light work in teams. You don't go into systems alone. You need each other to do this work because you cannot hold the frequency by yourself. By going in as teams, you increase the odds of successfully carrying out the divine plan. Light is a kingdom of consciousness, and it has a purpose in existence. Oh, yes. We do not want you to think that light is more noble than anything else. We remind you that Prime Creator created everything, and it endows all things with itself. That means all of the light and all of the dark, all of the entities in existence, every single holy hologram of Godshiousness is part of Godshiousness. Every being, every soul, every entity is Godshiousness, a fractal, a sacred fractal, a divine spark. Even all the ones who are playing the bad guys. All right? So as soon as you remove the label of evil and just say everything is, then it removes the label of evil. There is no such thing as evil. Wow, it's amazing. Maybe that's why I'm wearing this black and white theme today. The white parts of my top are divine, and the black parts are also divine. So let me read that again. We remind you that Prime Creator creates everything in existence, and it endows all things with itself. Just as you are seeking self-awareness, Prime Creator is mastering this as well through you and me. It seeks to be aware of itself. Godsciousness seeks to be aware of itself within all things, and to endow the things that it is within with awareness that Prime Creator is in them and aware of its existence. That is a mind bender. Let's read that again. Godsciousness is mastering self-awareness. Godsciousness seeks to be aware of itself within all things and to endow the things that it is within with awareness that Godsciousness is in them and aware of its existence. This awareness is like a mirror going back and forth between the Prime Creator and all creations, down to the smallest little bug or ant that crawls around on the ground. Just as Prime Creator is in light, it is also in so-called evil, knowing that evil also has a divine purpose. And I should say, I'll just show you. Knowing that evil, in quotes, has a divine purpose. And so now we're going to bring in some of the teachings from Barbara Hand Clow, that manifesting deer, that deer manifesting deer. Dear Barbara, dear manifesting deer. The deer is known for its protective abilities, manifesting two hands, working constantly, making deals, getting things done, praying. Here now are some of the words about the man we can call Yeshua from the Pleiadian agenda. Now, this is one of the reasons that I love Kindle, because you can do a search just like this and come up with exactly what you're looking for without any bookmarks or highlights whatsoever. Here we go. This magnificent activation is an awakening of the crystal energy within each body on Earth. What do I mean? The crystal energy in your bodies is the resynchronization of the crystalline codes in your blood with Gaia. And stop littering the planet with yourself when you are half dead. Rome would fall eventually, but an official church based around lies would prevail, since humans are most easily manipulated by means of religion. Anu never had such a big project. The Roman Catholic Church would be the next official Anunnaki establishment. To accomplish this, all its priests would have to be celibate, based on the false premise that Christ was celibate. Women would have to be disempowered, and the Eucharist would be celebrated by male priests who had never entered a woman. All knowledge of multiple lifetimes would have to be erased, so that people would learn to be terrified of death, and fear of death would limit multi-dimensional contact. This would offer the Anunnaki total dominion of Earth and prevent multi-dimensional access to humans. If you have not read The Pleiadian Agenda, go buy it right now. Here's a little bit more. Look at it this way. A really big event, such as Yeshua's birth, occurs and people feel its real meaning. Then the event is severely distorted and made into a cultural obsession. The control forces constantly repeat certain parts of the story to satisfy the longing of people for freedom from evil. Lies are incessantly repeated about the Crystal One, but people are so hungry for the real story, they swallow the lies like hungry parrots. The false story is repeated ad nauseum until even the liars can't remember the truth. The obsession for truth is constantly placated, and you run around in circles like mindless rats seeking something. This is your liability from the Anunnaki, your ability to lie. And this is why I can tell you that the only way out of the net is to dig deeply for your real stories. You will move right into your own integrity once you have the truth. That is why I, Satya, am so seditious, heretical, and insulting. Why do I pick the Crystal One, you might ask? Remember, I am reading your energy fields from Alcyone. I simply pick the stories that you obsess on the most. Why? Because what you obsess on is exactly what blocks you. I know in the deepest level of your consciousness that you all want to have your truth, no matter how many sacred cows have to go. I want you to exercise your intelligence. Tell it in your genes to get out of the net. And here I think we can substitute the word the matrix as it was used by that movie, although the word matrix means matter, means mother, means the womb of life, all life. This right here is the matrix, my dear, and it's wonderful. It's time to re-embrace it, to love it unconditionally. Oh, where was I? For those of you who have activated your shamanistic and native cultural memories, you well know that part of the teaching of native cultures was how to go into various realities and change form. The shamans in certain cultures were revered for this. Now, here comes Christine Day. Hopefully you've watched all of these episodes in order, and what I'm going to read to you now will just be a little reminder from Christine Day's nth book. I'm not sure what order. But here we go. Chapter 5, Harnessing the Energy of Earth's Natural Forces, Sacred Communion with Nature. Here's the first sentence. The Pleiadians are responsible for transmitting all the sacred shamanic rituals, teachings, and knowledge to all native people on the earth plane many lifetimes ago. Thank you, Christine Day. Shamanism is Pleiadian. Shamans are able to move into the forms of animals and various other shapes and guises. Many extraterrestrials who are curious about life forms know how to rearrange their molecular structure and come onto the planet in disguise as humans. The big show happens on many levels, not just in 3D. A chain reaction moves through all of the dimensions because they're all connected all the time. Some beings beam themselves to Earth in disguise as humans, or they incarnate, picking an opportunity to get a ticket into this reality show and be here for the big event. Perhaps some of you sense as being not native to the planet. And maybe you're not even here as systems busters, but you're here just to observe and to understand so that you can take this information back to your own star systems. That's awesome. There are intelligent creatures who are able to manifest as humans and play the role out to perfection. Sometimes their memories are intact, and sometimes they have the veil down. Do not judge either one, and do not, worship? Softly worship? Don't look up to anyone who has all of these memories from other lifetimes and other star systems. It's not more special whatsoever. In fact, your soul made an agreement to be here at this time, and your soul decided whether you needed those memories or not. Many of us are here with very minimal outside coming to the inside help because we needed that challenge. We needed to fully believe our own intuition and intellect. We are harmonizing our divine masculine and divine feminine. And in so doing, we gain access to our own Akash. Channeling our higher self, which came through in the previous episode, especially through the work of Mr. Edgar Casey. In 3D, where you have been operating as a human species for so long, there is a limitation on what you can experience. The third dimension is designed to focus on one existing reality at a time, at a linear time. 3D provides a linear perspective on time, and that's great for most of us, most of the time. It's fine. The members of the family of light are much more than 3D humans. You can say we're 5D if you want, but we're really all 13D, or we're really all D. We're every dimension. They are all here and all now. Okay? Okay. Good. If you were to have a business card printed up for yourselves when you were in full memory of your identity, it would say something like, Renegade member of Family of Light, Systems Buster, available for altering systems of consciousness within the free will universe, on call 24/7, 365. Cool. You are primarily here to remember who you are, to operate multidimensionally within the system, and to teach humans a new system. You are disguised as humans. You are now looking at my disguise. It's like this. Sometimes it's like this. Or like this. Or like this. And many other things like this. And like this. Woo! I love that. You are disguised as humans. As soon as you begin to realize that you are here in disguise as a human, you will extricate yourself from the human drama and the human dilemma of frequency control. The reptilian 3D frequency control system only works on those who buy into the system. The system includes fear. It includes doubt and shame and guilt and blame and anger and rage and quite a few other lower 3 chakra energies and none of the upper 4 chakra energies. All right? So tap in, turn on, tune in, and drop out. See what I did there? Oh. Timothy Leary, Hun Lahun Kaban. One of the primary things we ask each of you to do from this moment forward is to not base any of your future experiences on your past. Snip, chop, swipe. Nothing. No. Be here now. Did I ever tell you that I have the exact same Mayan birthday as Ram Dass? Wow. That's one of the reasons why I tell all my clients who they have the same Mayan birthdays as. I also tell them who their same Mayan birthdays, which means holy holograms, Een Lak'esh Alakin, for all of their guide positions too. So when I do a reading for you, you come out of it with TMI. Sorry, not sorry. But you must act as if you are newly beamed down onto the planet, innocent as a babe, and ready to step forward into the circumstances of your daily life. We chose to be here. We chose our parents. We chose our birthday. You chose which one of these squares to touch down on, all right? And sure, you can say you chose to be a Scorpio or whatever else, but as I've been saying, whoa, sorry, I just knocked you over there. As I've been saying, because it said it in here, the whole system of 12 is an arbitrary system that was put into place to control you by the toxic masculine priests who came out of Atlantis on the run and later set to destroy the goddess religions that were from Mu. This is my opinion. Take it or leave it. I'm just going random here. I am on the last page of chapter 10 though, so let's see what happens. All reality is created by thought. It is all subjective experience. So 12 constellations, subjective experience. 13, cool, it's also subjective. Although I feel that this is way beyond subjective. You cannot deny that you have DNA and all of these other facts too. That's not subjective. That's perfect math, sacred geometry, and divine science. Okay. In actuality, this reality or world was set up by entities of the family of light a very long time ago, before the reality was raided by the reptilians about 300,000 years ago. As members of the family of light, you were the original planners. When the entities of the dark controllers came in, they did a very good job of keeping the light out. The dark team were great at that. However, time's up! You are renegades of light, and you decided to come back at this stage in order to make another raid of consciousness. Millions of you at this time, because you knew, in working with Prime Creator's energy, that there was a high probability that everyone would achieve a great richness of consciousness. Okay. As you begin to pull this light into your bodies and onto the planet, many people who like the shadow ego drama may be affected. That means when you start vibrating at a higher frequency, you can affect the people around you. All right? Unconditional love. It's the most powerful energy in existence. All right. Chapter 11, the name of the game. In order to survive in the times that are coming, it is imperative to move into the idea of thought manifestation or superconsciousness. My friends Isha and Sean call it superhuman love, and it really means unconditional love. All right? Superconsciousness is only a word to you at this time. It is not a concept that is inside of you yet, because you cannot conceive of being so in tune and filled with so much love. Yet, as you evolve, that is what you are moving toward. Cool. Bring it on. I'm bringing it on. Thought comes first. Experience is always secondary. Wow. It is never the other way around. Thought precedes perception. This is one of the major lessons from this book. Thought precedes experience. Thought precedes perception. And when we think about what now quantum physicists have basically agreed upon, is that thought, or consciousness, if you will, preceded the physical universe. And if you do believe in the concept of a Big Bang, I'm not saying it's true or not true. If everything went out, then guess what? It all has to come back, because that's the way everything works. And perhaps that was one. And it might take 26 billion years, who knows? We might be in the halfway point right now, 13 billion or 16.4 if you believe in the Mayan calendar, which I do. So it could take 33 billion years. Oh, cool. We're almost at the halfway point between the exhalation and inhalation. Cool. So even if, let's say we're right now at the halfway point between waking up to the fact that all is one. And so these phrases like Een Lak'esh, Alakin start to get passed around, and the concept of oneness. I am going to do a whole book on Rasha, a whole book. I'm going to do a series or just one long video on Rasha and oneness. As you can see, I have a few notes. Oh, by the way, if you feel a little daunted by reading the 750,000 words of Asim, what I did was I read it on Kindle and I took screenshots of what I thought was important, and then there was about 1,300 of those, and then I labeled them all and put them into folders, and I will gladly share any or all of it with any of you to save you 1,000 hours that I already spent for you, okay? And you can make a donation if you like. Thought comes first. Experience is always secondary. It is never the other way around. Your thoughts form your world all of the time. Because you are bombarded with so many frequency-controlled vibrations that attempt to keep you from being clear, you waver. Because we're in reaction most of the time, we're seeing all this information that we react to. It completely blindsides the thought first, experience second reality that is potentially ours. When we give up our sovereignty into watching everything they force feed us, it's really easy to just sit there and react. That's the shadow ego. And that's fine. You can do that your whole life if you want. Then you'll die and you'll go, ooh, wasted another one. Okay, let's go back in there and try again. That's fine. And you can do that as many times as you want, really. A lot of people do. No problem. No guilt, no issue, no shame, no blame. It's fine. You can do whatever you want. Say to yourself, what do I want? I want to accelerate my personal evolution. I want spirit to assist me in a greater capacity. I want to channel my higher self. I am channeling my higher self. 3 times. I am channeling my higher self. I am channeling my higher self. I am channeling my higher self. Ooh, can you feel that? Oh, yeah. Can you feel the truth? Can you smell the truth? Can you taste the truth? Don't judge yourself. That's the shadow ego. Begin to say to yourself, I accept responsibility for all that I am involved in. I accept responsibility for everything that happens to me. One of the things I teach my clients is the divinity trinity of unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, unconditional trust. And this is not something that you put out there until you have put it in here. 100%. We all must unconditionally love ourselves first. And that means, my dear one, we must unconditionally forgive ourselves of everything we've ever done to hurt ourselves and everything we've ever done to hurt anyone else or any creature or any plant or anything. And then the icing on the cake is unconditional trust that everything we ever did, everything that was ever done to us was all perfect. I live in Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Every single war, every rape, every crime was perfect. So, for you, no matter what you have done, it was perfect. You must unconditionally forgive yourself. And then you can unconditionally forgive everyone else because they are you. You are everything. always act as if there is an impeccable purpose to everything you do. Act as if your highest good and your highest opportunity involve working through every event that you are involved in. Everything. Always act that way. If you're walking down the street and someone says, "I've got a gun in your back, give me all your money," act as if you are being given an opportunity for your highest growth. When you act as if, you act without knowing and without expectation. And here we can bring in the words of Bashar. Act in your highest excitement. Do what excites you the most, even if it's just a little bit. Even if you have many options and only one of them is a little bit more exciting than the others, then do that one thing. Without any expectation on the outcome. Do not use what you're doing here to get you something else that you've already decided that you want. Do not be afraid of what you create. Trust what you create. Unconditionally trust that everything you have created was perfect. Do not sweep your dramas under the rug as if they are dirty, old, horrible things and you never wish to see them again. Get finished with these dramas. Process them. Open your heart, embrace them, look at them, unconditionally love them, unconditionally forgive them, and offer them the unconditional trust that they were perfect for you at those times. However, understand that the drama you have had with your mother, your brother, your sister, your lover, is something you may use 20 years later to come back to a whole new realization, and that goes for every situation that ever happened to you. Every situation that ever happened to you, you can recapitulate and turn into your greatest strength every situation. Those who are involved in dramas in which it looks like someone is a victim are usually so out of touch with their heart chakra that they do not connect to how they feel and what they are thinking. Victims find victims. Victors find victors. Additionally, victims find victors, as in narcissists. Narcissists find doormats. Be neither. There is no such thing as victim. It does not exist. Let it go. If you felt it, let it go. Accept that it was perfect for you at those times. Let it go. Don't judge yourself for having felt like the victim in the past. Now that you understand that there are no victims, understand that it was perfect for you at that time. You must understand that others must go through the realms of density to bring them to the light. They have to go through the darkest nights of the soul. Bashar calls that the rubber band effect. Some of them have to go down so dark and deep in order to go pyong into the light. And sometimes that pyong goes really fucking slow. All right, that's why that analogy, as beautiful as it is not temporally correct. we almost never go from the pit of the depths of our dark night of the shadow ego into the heavenly light of cosmic crystal consciousness 1 instant later. It's possible. Whew. Life is like a restaurant. Learn how to order what you want from life, like you would do in a restaurant, and then trust that because you ordered it, it will be put before you. When you go into a restaurant, you don't worry over every item in the menu and wonder whether or not you deserve to have it. Well, sometimes you do. Sometimes you say, I can't afford that $27 meal. I'll take this $19 one, or even this $6 one, or even I'll just have a glass of water and a bagel because I'm not really hungry. The way you act in restaurants is a wonderful indication of the way you act in life. It's an incredible teaching to understand. When you go into a restaurant, do you simply order and say, this is what I want, and trust that it's going to come to you? Or do you worry that somebody's going to screw it up? As soon as you put your order in to the waiter, do you follow the waiter into the kitchen and say to the cooks, excuse me, do you have the right lettuce? And are you doing the sauce? And could you... I made that part up. I'm just ad-libbing. No. You trust that it will be presented to you exactly the way you want it, and you let it go. Although I have to say, especially with those menus that have a lot of pictures, when it comes out, it's like, oh, right? Yes, okay, fine, whatever. Look at the divine nonchalance you have when you order things in a restaurant. That's how it is when you order up your life. Get clear on what you want, order it, and be done with it. Don't keep calling up Spirit to see if they got the order right or to give advice on how to fill it. You ordered it. Trust that it will come unconditionally. You are a result of your thoughts. Ooh, boy, they're really pushing that button in this chapter. If there is nothing else you learn on this planet, you will learn that this is the rule in this reality and the rule of many other dimensions as well. What you think is what you get. The law of consciousness. Thought creates. Your words are either empowering or disempowering. And there's some other words that are neither. Like nice or good. Maybe. I don't know. We want you to have courage to live your light. So we want to emphasize to you and convince you in whatever way possible that your thoughts formulate your words. Eliminate the words should and trying from your vocabulary. If you were to pay money every time you said these words, you would have a great debt. You are in a great debt of disempowerment or impotence when you use should and trying. I'm trying. There is no try, only do. Oh. If someone is trying to put out a newsletter or trying to change their patterns, they can try for the rest of their life. Now, I want to go back to victims find victims and people who are trying. This also applies to people who are healing. Now, there was a time in my life when I was healing and I went through it and then I healed and now I'm healing others. Back to that phrase, victims find victims. a lot of people like to remain healing and remain in the victim vibration for a very long time because they will not forgive. It's that simple. Once you forgive unconditionally, because Een Lak'esh Alakin, holy holograms, we are all one, oneness. Once you accept that, then you are free. You're done healing. You're done. Little memories may come up, and you just let them go. It's fine. The shadow ego is full of memories and pain. Now you have to do what you can to release them, and that is a healing process that takes a certain amount of time. So if you are healing right now, I love you unconditionally. I forgive you unconditionally. I have unconditional trust that every single thing you have ever done to hurt yourself or anyone or thing or animal was perfect. All right? So grant yourself that level of respect. It still may take a while, and that's fine. But seed is planted, my love. Money seems to be an issue with everyone. You all have very definitive beliefs on how much money comes to you. The more you believe you must work hard for money, the harder you're going to have to work. Many of you believe it's quite normal to work hard for money, and that if you don't work hard for money, then it's dirty. If money comes easily, it's somehow dirty. Let us ask you to remember the word effortless and incorporate it into your vocabulary. Say to yourself, I am effortlessly attracting abundance. 3 times. I am effortlessly attracting abundance. I am effortlessly attracting abundance. I am effortlessly attracting abundance. And I will remind you of the words of Bashar. Abundance is the ability to do what you need when you need to do it. That is all. A lot of that comes from money, sure, but that's only a fraction of it. Remember, here they go again, reality is a result of your thoughts. Many of you believe that in order to get money, you must expend a great amount of energy, or you must be employed by someone who is going to give it to you, or whatever. These ideas are completely and totally erroneous. We cannot emphasize that enough. When you are allowing, Spirit will compensate you in a variety of unexpected ways. The only reason this has not happened before is that you just haven't believed it was possible. When you believe things are possible, reality changes. State of mind is the name of the game here. We cannot emphasize that to you enough. How you feel about reality and how you program reality is how you're going to respond to it, or how it is going to present itself to you. That is why we say, go for it. Be outrageous. Do what excites you. Do the impossible. You can do it. Remember, when you learn the rules of the game, that you are a result of your thoughts, and that this is a law within your universe. All you need to do is think of how you want to be, and so you shall be. Een Lak'esh Alakin, Namaste.